Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Alien Romulus. These are some really exciting times because a lot of new films have been coming out and I've been lucky to watch them, most of them I would say, ahead of time. This was one of the cases, even though the film here will have like a premiere the day that I've watched it, but at night. So today I'm hopefully I can get this video out on the day that I'm filming. So yeah, regardless, I'm really excited that not only I got to watch it before a lot of people, because there's not a lot of reviews out. I don't know, I haven't seen any, and there's no score on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, so this is like really fresh and I kind of like this because I can't be biased or I can't be influenced by what everyone else thinks. So this is my honest opinion this time, specifically on this film. So yeah, I guess let's just get to it. Before I tell you what this film is about, sort of, I completely forgot to mention that one, I'm not a big fan of Alien. Actually, I only watched it for the first time yesterday in preparation for this film. I can see why a lot of people like it. I think it is a good film. It's just not really my taste. So I went into this one with like mild expectations. Like I could see this new one being better, and honestly the only reason that made me excited about the film was the director Fede Alvarez. I really like his stuff. He's really good. All of his projects are really good. I think there's not one that I don't like. So he has Don't Breathe, which I really like. He made the Evil Dead remake, which honestly I think it's better than the original. Yeah. And I love his show that it's so underrated. No one talks about it, but I talked about it when it came out here on my channel. So I link my video up here, even though it's kind of old. But the show Calls, it's such a good show and no one talks about it like ever. So it has like a good report. All of his stuff is really good, and because of that I was expecting this one to be good. But before I get into my thoughts, let me tell you what this new Alien film is about. So this supposedly, and I think it does fit in the timeline, this takes place after the original Alien, and it's supposed to be in between Alien and Aliens, which is the second film, but now this one is the second one. I haven't seen the second film, but from what I know, I think this one fits perfectly like in the middle, but definitely serves as a sequel, definitely is sort of a sequel to the original Alien. And this one is about a group of, they're not really kids nor teenagers, they're more like young adults that go to this abandoned space station. I don't think it's actually a ship, it's more of a station, to get something, but when they get there they encounter something else, which obviously we know it's an alien. I know the cast is also a selling point for a lot of people. For me, it was the director, but I know the cast was a selling point for a lot of people. So the film stars Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, Archie Renault, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, and Isabella Merced. I recognized 3 out of these 4, even though there's a few other names, but these are like the main characters, main actors. Obviously we all know Kaylee by now, but I actually also recognized David Johnson from a show called Industry from HBO Max, now only Max. It is a really interesting show and he plays from what I can remember, because I haven't seen the latest seasons, I only watched the first one. His character is pretty different from the one they plays here. So it was interesting. And yeah, I also recognized Isabella Merced, even though I didn't watch Madame Web yet. So it's not from there. I can't remember exactly from where, but I recognize her face. And poster, let's get to my thoughts. Honestly, I think people that love the original film will love this film. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the original film, and I really enjoyed this one. I actually think I like this one more than the original. I do think this one is better than the original, but I can see like probably everyone will disagree with me on that. But I truly believe that fans of the original will really, really like this film. I think they will enjoy it even more than I did, because they will appreciate all the little things that I did understand because of the previous film and because I watched it like last night. But people that really love the original like will flip out with some of the things that are in this film. Personally, as I said, I prefer this one over the original because they improve everyone that I didn't like about the original film. So the original film, I'm not gonna get into it. If you want to know more about my thoughts on Alien or the original, check out my Letterboxd. It's always on the description. I have like a little review there. But there's a lot of things that I didn't really like about the film. First of all, personal preference. I'm not a huge sci-fi girl. And that's something that they improve in this film. This film has, I wouldn't say less sci-fi, but less scenes, or has more stuff than the spaceships and all the gadgets and all that stuff that is really present in the original film. This one is more focused on the group and their goal. I don't know, there's something about it that makes it less sci-fi and so more enjoyable for me. Something else that they improved is the pacing. This one has a lot more action happening. They get into it pretty soon in the film. I would say there's like about maybe 30 minutes before like things start happening, but once they start, they basically never stop. I still think this film is a little bit too long, maybe like 10 minutes too long, but it was fine. While with the original film, I think it dragged a little bit. It was pretty tedious until it gets to the good stuff. So I think they improved that. They also improved the characters, and that's something big for me because I'm sorry, this might be like a huge unpopular opinion, but I'm not a fan of Ripley. I think she's really annoying and kind of a bitch. And in this film, all of the characters are super likable. Obviously, there's like stereotypes, and there's always like the one that is supposed to be the mean one. But even that, like, you are rooting for most of these characters, if not all of them. So I cared when something was happening. While in the original film, I don't know, you're supposed to be rooting for the protagonist, which is Ripley. And I just wasn't. And I don't think they flesh out the characters enough in the original film. Here, yeah, you understand all of them, their motivations, and I was rooting for everyone, so I really like that. And on top of that, all of the things that they improved on, they also tried to replicate some of the iconic scenes from the original film. How many times I'm gonna say the original film in this video? So yeah, like the opening titles are pretty similar with the spaceship and the space, and the font that they use in the titles is the same. They replicate some of those iconic scenes, and surprisingly they don't make them like cheesy or just, they make sense, and they're not like just the same thing. They make sense in this story, in this film, and with this tone. So I really enjoyed it. And there's some little things, I wouldn't say Easter eggs, more like surprises that have to do with the original film. And yeah, some things that connect the two are in this one. And on top of all of that, there's some things that make this film super unique. That ending was quite something. It like tries to replicate the original but has more to it, and it is quite something. I was shocked. Then more on a technical level, I loved it. Like the film looked great. Fed Alvarez is amazing. The way he shot the film, not only it looks good, it has some really interesting, beautiful, haunting shots. There's great jump scares. The body horror is so good. So yeah, I think it is a great film. I think people will like really appreciate it. I think people will be really surprised. And yeah, let's just get to my scores. So overall, I'm gonna give the film a 4 out of 5. I think like it really does come to personal preference with this one, because I think like this film does basically everything well. Like it pays homage to the original and is a super like good film on its own. Like visually, as I said, it's amazing. The characters and the actors are so good. And I think the only thing that I just wasn't super into when it comes to this film is something that I wasn't a fan in the original either, is the score. Like the score here is better, but I don't know, there's something about it that I just wasn't really into. But I can get past that because everything else is like really good. Cinematography, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. This film visually is everything. I just don't give it a 5 out of 5 because, again, personal taste, and it doesn't have like a distinct like cinematography like look to it. I don't know, there's some films that I just can't see the vision, and even though there's some really good shots here and everything looks great, I don't know, I just needed that little thing, that little oomph to make it like a 5 out of 5. But it's a stunning film. It's beautiful but creepy and scary and like exciting. Yeah, it's really good. And originality, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 because obviously this is based on another story, based on another film, so it can't be totally original. But I think what they do with the story of this one, and at the same time they try to have those iconic moments from the original in this one, I think they did really well with the story and how they put everything together. So I have to give them props for that, even though it's not a super original story. Yeah, I really liked what they did with the whole thing. It just, yeah, it is really good. So yeah guys, these are my thoughts on Alien Romulus. This was a surprise to me because even though I was expecting good things from Fede Alvarez, I just thought this wouldn't be my thing, and I would be one of the few that wouldn't be really into it. But turns out I quite enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again like at the cinema or if I'm gonna watch it again at all, but I can see that it's a great film and I enjoyed it. I was really like glued to the screen. And I think people that love the original will love this one. They will love everything about it, what they did with the story, the homages. Yeah, if you are a fan of the original, please go watch this one because you will not regret it. You will love it, I'm pretty sure. And if you end up watching it, or if you have seen it already, let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know how you feel about this one, comparing it to the original film. As I said, I prefer this one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be the minority, even though I'm pretty confident that people will like this film, will really like this film, but probably not as much as the original. Just it will be only me. But if you are like me, please tell me in the comments. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.